What's up guys, welcome back to another video, hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to be covering a track by the name of Lake Havasu, located in Arizona. This is a track created by Paramoto and it's not something that I'm familiar with myself. However, when I loaded into the track, you can see that the track map at the top right is very long. So I had a quick fly around, seeing what's what, and it's like, kind of gives me GNCC vibes, you know, it's like enduro meets motocross, just a really long track, some very interesting sections, like over here for example we've kind of got a little split lane, so maybe if you don't want to double over the lake you can take the easy way around like I would in real life and go all the way around it, and it just looks very interesting. Now Paramoto mentions that on the post that he's not put the time into this that he would have liked to. It sounds like it's one of them projects that he's kind of come back to time and time again and never fully got around to finishing it, and instead of it just sitting in his folder not being used, he decided to release it for us. So very happy to try it. I always like my kind of like trail riding / enduro GNCC type tracks in this game. I really do think we need more and more of them. I always seem to enjoy them. I'm hopping on the Fantic 450 today, and let's just have a rip round and see really how long a lap takes us. Rightio, so I've got 5 litres of fuel. That should be more than enough for just a lap. There's a nice cool little free ride area over here. It's nice seeing little bits here and there dotted around the map. Now I won't lie to you, I have no bloody clue where I'm meant to be going to even get to this start line. So just give me a second before I can work out where I'm joining the track. Here we go. Right, start line located. That only took me like 20 seconds. So let's see how this all goes. It's just going to be a first shot kind of thing. No idea what sort of a lap time I'm looking like or anything like that. In terms of bike setup, I've slapped on literally my Supercross one, so same tyres as well. Underneath my bike, it sounds quite sandy, so I might have been better suited slapping on a sand tyre around here, but I'm sure it doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm pretty sure we can still ride it as is intended and should have a good time. Now, I'm quite happy, actually, that a new track has been released. I feel like since the drop of the Beta 18 OEMs, we've been in a little bit of a dry spell, which, as a content creator, can be a little bit difficult to try and think of things on this game for, especially when you've been doing it for the last year and a half, coming up on 2 years. But this should be really good fun, and the only other track on this game that I really think represents trails at all, it's a little bit of more of a single trail than this is the Enduro de Heuvelenberg, whichever way you want to pronounce it, created by Rubes. And I really do, I love my trail riding in this game. I'm not sure what it is. I feel like it's just to do with the lack of having to try hard. You can just hop on the game and just ride around and have a bit of fun with it. Like, it's not too serious whatsoever. Now, it's very rare, quite difficult actually, to get like a somewhat populated lobby on tracks like this, because they're not everyone's first choice when they hop on the game. You know, I mean, if you had to give me one track to play or one type of riding to do on this game for the rest of my time, I'd probably pick Supercross. You know, Supercross is always going to be my favourite. Absolutely love it. But when it comes to just having a chill time and not having to worry too much, I always find the enduro stuff is my way to go, especially the longer ones. So like Krakenberg, for example, perfect for me. I mean, that takes up an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how long it really takes you, and you can just sit there and shut your brain off and play the game. I've tried doing Krakenberg a few times on stream and getting a full lobby, but it's very rare that people make it to the end. I feel like the attention span of people nowadays is a lot lower than it is for some of the older boys that play. So who knows, maybe on one of my public streams in the near future, maybe I'll see if I can get a full lobby of people, and we'll do maybe, I'll do it like, maybe timed would be good, even if it's maybe like half hour to an hour long race, and you set the road up quite high so it just gets more and more difficult as it goes on. I feel like that could be quite a fun and challenging idea. And then of course from that point, if you want it to be harder, you can always just like slap some wind on, slap some rain on, and just see how it goes. Now, looking up at the track map, oh my god, I'm glad that I didn't go too fast over that. Looking up at the track map, it's quite hard to kind of work out how far you've got left to go, where it all intertwines within itself and goes back and forth. It can be a little bit difficult working where you are. I'm a bit scared to try and go through some of these bushes. Right, is this a jump? Oh, no, this isn't. Nice and chilled out. Yeah, quite difficult to work out like how long a lap time would even be. Just keep her going, keep her going. Now, it's not easy mode by any means. A lot of these bumps coming out some of these corners looks like they could just grab you any time. So if you slip the back end out, you might have a little bit of grief here and there. Of course, with the Beta 18 OEM bikes, especially on the Fantic, the front end can be a little bit finicky from time to time, so I'm really trying my best not to try and get forced the front end to do too much at once. I'm just very smoothly turning, leaning back a little bit as well, gently getting on the throttle, just trying not to put too much weight and pressure in that front wheel. I can feel that it's fairly slick track. Being a track from Arizona, I imagine that it would be slippery IRL. I mean, I've not seen too many Arizona tracks. I imagine they're either hard pack or quite loamy / fine sandy. I don't think there's probably much in between. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You're more than welcome to do so. I just saw there was a little aeroplane flying above up there, which I can now no longer see in my vision. Annoyingly, I think the finish line is probably... Oh, actually, no, that's not a line there. I feel like the finish line is going to be just before... Oh, you go back across the start straight again. So I've kind of missed out on getting like a timed lap, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. It's fine. We'll carry on plugging along and going. Now, having not seen any footage of this track, I can't speak on it from like a replica standpoint. I know, so I've got my reshape on right now. If I turn it off quickly, you can see it's quite a bland track in terms of colours, like very, very dark. Now, my reshape mode really only changes like the saturation a little bit, it makes it a tiny bit brighter. But still, I do like lighter tracks in this game. It'd be nice to have it a little bit brighter, unless it is really, really dark in person. No idea. I always feel like no matter what track gets released in this game, no matter what it's a replica of or where it's based from, it could be in the most remote part of the world, there is always somebody down in the comments of one of these videos that has ridden that track in real life. So if you've ridden this track, then let me know how Para's done. Has he done a good job of replicating this? Is it a fun track to ride in real life? And what sort of events does it mainly host? I know it's part of like the national, I think it's National Grand Prix Championship was the wording that I saw when I was downloading it. Obviously I don't know what that consists of, how many rounds it is, so on and so forth, but in my mind it just kind of sounds very GNCC-esque. I imagine that they just kind of pop people on here, tell them, you know, off you go ride for 3 hours, see how many laps you can do, and see who wins. I have crossed the line actually, and where does this meet up? Where does this meet up? Oh, I'll slow down. I see it turns here. Oh, I could have stepped down there. Nice little inside rut, probably like the only rut on the entire track actually. And back up here, I think this is where it meets back onto the start straight, which it does. So that really was a lap overall, maybe like 7 or so minutes, maybe a little bit less. Let's go for enough on Moss, mate. Let's try and go a little bit faster. I feel like I was very, very reserved that time round. I haven't got any road on, annoyingly. I completely forgot to turn it on. Reason being is, so the last time I played this game was for Anaheim 2. I've been away for a couple of days. I mean, my girlfriend's still here with me right now. I'm just awkwardly recording this in front of her while she smiles to herself in the background on her laptop playing bloody Stardew Valley. Typical girl games. But I've not played the game since... Did I say Anaheim 2? I've not played this since San Diego. Round 2. Sorry, my... getting all sorts all over the place. So, I've been playing the game, so most of the time when I practice, I run, I suppose, a fairly high erode in terms of single player, like between 1 or 2. I know online for the races they're doing 0.3, 0.4ish at the moment, so to have it 1 and above I think is quite a decent amount, that you really do see the marks that you leave behind. Now I usually ride with it like that, however Charlie made the observation that during my A1 race and my San Diego race as well, I seem to really struggle on the opening laps, like to go the same speed as the top boys. Yet when the road comes in is when I seem to like gain a little bit and catch up a bit more. Let me cut down here. I know there was an extra little sneaky line around the outside. There we go. Much easier. Well, that's actually, this isn't easier in game. I imagine it's easier in real life than sending that. That's probably awful IRL. Yeah, I've struggled on them opening laps. Like I'll make mistakes, or maybe I won't be used to how the whoops are on the opening laps as they get easier as the race goes on. So that's really what's been causing me time in positions as of late. If I take San Diego as an example, I was down about 30 seconds or so, probably halfway through the race, with a bunch of mistakes at the start of the race, and there was more than one point during that entire race where I got the lead down to under 10. There's one point when I was only 3 seconds off the lead, so that kind of fills me with confidence. I have the race pace later on into the race, but the very beginning is what I need to work on, and I think it just comes down to hot laps and just spending more time trying to run hot laps on the game. I'm much more of a Oh yeah, I think my race pace is fine. I know my qualifying pace might not be that good, but I do need to get it up as well. Because whilst the qualifying position doesn't matter as much, I suppose for the first 3 or 4 laps of a main event, that you are essentially going to be trying to run qualifying laps. You're trying to go that fast. So it's nice seeing other people kind of looking at your riding and it's telling you where you can improve, even if they're people that aren't faster than you on the game in general. It doesn't matter, like they can see what you need to improve on, and I think you guys as viewers can probably see that as well. I mean, so if you have watched my Anaheim 1 or my San Diego race at all, live stream back, is there any other areas that you can see I can really improve on? I mean, consistency is always going to be a massive thing. It's always very, very difficult to do, especially with how deep the track gets. I know that there's a certain point in the race where you have to start switching your lines up, going lower in the corner than the route that already exists and trying to make a new one, and I think I can definitely do a better job of recognising when that happens and when to change my lines. But other than that, I feel good. Just race pace and the road in general, I feel decent on. I really think that just Charlie did have a good point that those first few laps need to be better, and I agree with it. It's definitely a skill issue at the end of the day. A good thing, I'm not sure if anyone's noticed yet, is on the Fantic and the Yamaha, they now updated the models, so we've actually got bar pads. I have no idea what was going on prior to this, so thank you Neil Wells as well for letting them kind of use those bar pads. I think they are yours, but I think that was my biggest query with the Yamaha when I first got on it, and it's the same with the Fantic as well. Is the bars just didn't look very nice from a first-person standpoint. No problem at all if you're playing third-person. I'm sure you're loving life and don't notice the difference. But now we've got the old chunky bar pad on there. I feel like it looks much cleaner, a lot nicer. And we're back to the white front plate again. Chickens made me a white plate version. Got number 35 on this one. This is I was running this for the nationals. Running this for the North American series. For San Diego, I just decided to stay up and do NA as well, and I didn't do very well. I think I got, it was either P6 or P7. I feel like I dropped to P7. I had some issues in the whoops on the very last lap, like getting unlucky with a bike that was already on the ground, and I think Hemi passed me going over the line, but it is what it is. I'm treating NA stuff more as practice rather than serious positions, so all good stuff. And I mean, just quite enjoying it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it too much on stream or in recent videos, but I'm slowly getting more into that creator mindset rather than like someone that's going to go out and win every single race, and just trying to enjoy the game for what it is more than anything. That time right there, 5 minute 24. So if you want to set yourselves a marker at all, I don't think I crashed on the lap. Obviously I wasn't pushing as hard as I could push, but there's a nice little marker for you. Go out there and see if you can beat it, and let me know in the comments what sort of lap times you're doing. I think that's going to do it from me. A fairly short one for me today, but I've got other stuff to do. I've got to get ready, going out for dinner and so on and so forth as well. But I hope you've enjoyed the video as always. If you did, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever it is you guys are up to, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Have a nice day. Peace.